Welcome to the deep dive. We take source material, sometimes complex topics, and really try to drill down into what actually matters.
Yeah, get to the core ideas.
Exactly. And today we're diving into local SEO strategy, specifically for dental practices. We're looking at how they can boost their online visibility using something pretty foundational, directory listing services.
Right. Our mission here really is to cut through some of the marketing hype around, citation building.
Mm-hmm.
We want to understand the actual mechanism. How does keeping your business info, your name, address, phone number, perfectly consistent online?
Mm.
How does that signal verification to Google? And how does that actually get you higher up on Google Maps?
Because the sources we looked at point to this critical issue for local businesses, especially dentists. It's often not a lack of leads, is it?
No, not really. It's more of a visibility problem, a consistency problem.
So they're basically hiding from patients who are actively looking for them right now.
Precisely. And that invisibility often starts with something that sounds almost trivial and consistent information. We're talking NAP, name, address, phone number, the absolute basics.
Okay, let's break that down a bit more. For someone maybe not deep in SEO, why is something like using Saint on your site but Street somewhere else?
Yeah.
Or Suite 101 versus hashtag 101? Why is that such a big deal for an algorithm?
Well, it creates what you could call citation debt. Think about it.
Yeah.
Google's trying to connect the dots. It wants to link every mention of your clinic back to one single verified source, your Google Business Profile, or GBP.
Right.
But if the NAP details don't match up perfectly,
Hmm.
Google sees maybe two, maybe three different versions of your clinic, gets confused. Which one is real?
So it doesn't trust any of them fully.
Exactly. It can't be sure, so it plays it safe and might suppress your main GBP listing in the search results. Less trust equals less visibility.
It's almost like a credit score for your business's online identity if different agencies have conflicting info.
That's a great analogy. No one gives you the loan, or in this case, Google doesn't give you that prime spot in the Maps results.
And the result of that distrust.
It's pretty straightforward and pretty tough for the business. Fewer map impressions means fewer people see your clinic when they search dentist near me,
Which means fewer clicks, fewer calls.
and ultimately fewer appointments booked. Because your competitors, the ones who have got their data consistent,
Yeah.
they're showing up instead. They get the call.
Okay, so this is where the directory listing services come in. The promise is essentially they fix this mess. They list the clinic on, say, 50 relevant directories, add a social boost. But I'm a bit skeptical. Is 50 just a nice round number?
That's a fair question. The number 50 itself isn't magic, no, but it's about the network effect it generates. It's not just about the quantity.
Okay.
It's about the quality and the consistency across that quantity. When your clinic's details, NAP, website, hours match perfectly across dozens of credible platforms, especially ones relevant to dentistry.
Like dental-specific directories or health portals?
Exactly. That is a couple of important things. First, it's like having dozens of independent witnesses verifying your information for Google. Reinforces the trustworthiness of your main GBP listing.
Makes sense.
Second, and this is maybe more technical, many of these directories have decent authority in Google's eyes. A correct listing there sends a small positive signal back to your GBP. Google starts to see you as a real established local brand that's recognized by its peers.
So that explains why the sources really hammer home the need for strategic listings, not just any 50 directories will do.
Absolutely not. It has to be relevant. For dentists, it means dental or medical directories, local UK directories if you're based here.
Yeah.
Sites that Google already trusts for that kind of information.
Otherwise, it's just noise.
Pretty much. A listing on some random low-quality directory might even be ignored or seen as spammy. But a listing on a well-regarded dental booking platform, that structured data, Google understands and values. It tells Google with confidence. This is the clinic, this is where they are, this is how to contact them.
Okay, but what about that social boost thing? It sounds a bit vague. How does tweeting about a directory listing help?
It's basically a way to nudge Google. Google crawls sites like Twitter or Facebook constantly because they update so frequently, right?
Yeah, always new content.
So the social boost usually means the service provider posts links to some of those new directory profiles onto these active social platforms. It's like waving a flag at Google's crawler saying, hey, look, new information about this business just popped up over here. Come index it.
So it speeds up the process. Google might find those new consistent listings faster than just waiting for its regular crawl.
That's the idea. It accelerates getting that consistent data recognized and factored into your rankings. Instead of waiting weeks or months, it might happen much quicker.
Right, that makes sense from a technical perspective. Now let's talk practicalities. Competitive advantage. If this is just sort of basic data hygiene, why pay a service? Couldn't a clinic just get an admin assistant or an intern to spend a day cleaning this up?
You could try. But that's where the lowest lift way to close that gap fast argument comes in. Citation management sounds simple, but it's actually quite fiddly and time-consuming.
How so?
Well, you're dealing with potentially dozens of different websites, each with its own login, its own verification process, maybe phone calls, confirmation emails, and you often have to fight to correct old, incorrect data, that citation debt we mentioned. It can be a real headache.
And meanwhile, your competitor who has got it right is getting the clicks.
Exactly. They're
Uh-oh.
winning today. So these services offer speed and, crucially, expertise. They know the quirks of each directory. They have processes to handle it efficiently. They specialize in this specific, tedious task.
So who really needs this the most? Is it something every single dental practice should sign up for?
The sources suggest a few key groups. First, yeah, it's really important for new clinics. They need to establish that correct digital footprint right from day one. Build a solid foundation.
Makes sense. Get it right from the start.
Second, and maybe this is an even bigger group, it's for established practices that have likely accumulated years of messy data. They've maybe moved office, changed phone numbers, tweaked their name slightly.
And never systematically cleaned up the old listings.
Right. They have inconsistent information scattered all over the web, actively hurting their visibility. This service is a way to fix that backlog.
And the third group.
Those clinics that are, almost there. They're doing okay, maybe showing up on page 2 of maps, but they're stuck just outside that crucial local 3-pack.
The top 3 map listings that get most of the attention.
Exactly. For them, fixing the citation foundation might be the key to finally breaking into that top tier. It's a foundational fix that can provide a real boost, especially if other aspects like their website are already good.
So it's about outsourcing the boring bits, as the source called it.
Pretty much. Cleaning up citations is vital, non-negotiable work for local SEO. But it's not something a dentist or their core clinical team should be spending their valuable time on. This offers a hands-off way to get it done right.
Okay, let's walk through the process they describe. It sounds pretty simple, just 3 steps. If a clinic decides, right, we need to sort this, what actually happens?
It's designed to be quick for the clinic. Step 1 is basically signing up, subscribing to the service.
Okay.
Step 2 is providing the necessary information. There's usually a short intake form. You give them the correct NAP, obviously, your website URL, your exact opening hours, maybe upload some good quality photos of the practice.
The core details Google needs.
Exactly. And then step 3 is you're done. The service takes over. They do the heavy lifting, building the new listings on those 50 relevant directories, cleaning up any existing incorrect ones they find.
They handle all that messy back-end stuff.
Right? They implement the social boost to encourage faster indexing, and then they provide a report showing you exactly where you're listed and confirming the details are consistent.
Okay, sounds straightforward. But now, the reality check. This is important. The sources are quite clear. This isn't a magic wand light.
Absolutely, and credit to them for being upfront about it. No hype. They position directory listings as the bedrock of local SEO. Essential. Foundational. It helps your Google business profile climb the rankings and, importantly, helps it stay there by constantly reinforcing its validity.
Good.
But it is not magic overnight rankings. Getting your citations right is necessary, but maybe not sufficient on its own, depending on your market.
That distinction feels critical for managing expectations. Results will vary.
Hugely. If you're, say, a brand new dentist in a small town with little competition, fixing your citations and getting listed consistently might actually shoot you to the top of the maps pack relatively quickly.
Because the baseline is lower.
Exactly.
Right.
But if you're a specialist clinic in, I don't know, central London or Manchester, where dozens of competitors likely already have their citations sorted perfectly,
Then doing this is just catching up. It's getting you to the starting line.
precisely, it becomes table stakes. You have to do it to even compete seriously. It closes a critical gap, removes a negative factor, but it doesn't automatically guarantee you'll leapfrog everyone who's also doing other SEO well.
Wow.
It gives you a chance to rank, where inconsistency might have given you no chance at all.
Right. It removes a barrier. Okay, let's touch on the pricing mentioned. There were 2 models. One was a monthly subscription, around £50 per month, cancel anytime.
Yes, and that monthly model kind of reinforces the idea that this isn't just a one-off fix. It's ongoing maintenance.
Huh.
Data drifts, directories, change policies, new ones emerge. Keeping things consistent requires vigilance.
So the monthly fee covers that ongoing monitoring and management.
Presumably, yes.
Yeah.
And there was the alternative, a one-off lifetime package.
Okay, I have to push back slightly on lifetime in the context of SEO. Things change so fast. Algorithms, directories. Is anything truly lifetime?
That's a very valid point.
Yep.
Lifetime likely means you pay a larger upfront fee to cover the initial major cleanup and setup on those core 50 directories, and you avoid the recurring monthly operational cost.
So it's more about the payment structure. Capital expense versus operating expense.
Probably. It guarantees that core foundation is built and cleaned without an ongoing subscription for that specific set of listings. But you're right, the digital landscape isn't static. The principle of needing consistent data, however, is permanent. So you're essentially paying to solve that core data inconsistency problem permanently, at least across that initial network.
Okay, that clarification helps. So let's zoom out. We've covered the problem, the mechanism, the process. What's the big takeaway here?
I think the central insight is that getting found locally, especially on Google Maps, isn't just about having a website. It really hinges on proving your legitimacy and location through consistent, verifiable data across the web.
It's about earning Google's trust.
Exactly. Structured citations, consistent NAP, that's how you build that trust, that verification. It's a non-negotiable first step.
And connecting that to the bigger picture.
It just highlights how crucial the foundational work is. This meticulous, maybe slightly tedious task of maintaining NAP consistency across dozens of relevant platforms. That's what allows your Google business profile to actually surface when a potential patient is nearby, searching for care right now. It stops you from hiding in plain sight.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? Considering how valuable that top spot on Google Maps is, the calls, the appointments it drives. How many other things in business, things that seem small or repetitive, are actually these non-negotiable bedrock requirements?
Yeah, not the shiny objects, not the magic bullets, but the fundamental blocking and tackling.
Exactly. The things you have to get right for the bigger strategies to even have a chance. Maybe sometimes the most boring admin tasks are the gatekeepers to the most significant successes.
That's a powerful thought, focusing on the mundane, the foundational, to enable the extraordinary results.
Definitely something to chew on. Well, that's our deep dive for today. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
We'll catch you on the next one.